Good evening. Thank you for joining us for the second edition of UBC News Tonight, this 8th of August 2026. With me, Maureen Babirye. In our first report tonight, Kangole Girls Senior Secondary School in Moroto celebrated 50 years of existence. The school, which started small, now has over 900 students but is overcrowded. The Golden Jubilee was marked with a fundraising drive for a new dormitory, kick-started by a 60 million shilling donation from President Yoweri Museveni, delivered by the Vice President, Jessica Alupo.
The Catholic Church of Moroto Diocese for establishing Kangole Girls to empower the girl child. A society cannot develop if certain groups remain marginalized and oppressed. His Excellency sent me with an envelope of 60 million Uganda shillings towards the construction of the dormitory. The students should be guided to select science subjects and ICT, which boost their chances of gaining employment in the private sector, the largest employer.
The fundraising has just been kick-started by the High Excellency, the Vice President. The enrollment in the school is overwhelming. It goes beyond 1,000 students. But because of lack of accommodation, they are now at 900. I call every good Ugandan well-wishers to fundraise for this dormitory. This dormitory is going to answer the affirmative action issues in Karamoja. It is going to strengthen the education of the girl child.
Kangole has existed for 50 years, and today we are marking that special gift, that special seed that the Moroto Diocese thought of, empowering a girl child through education. We are proud of him sending us the Vice President, and the package is very well received. Has graced our day and has given us 60 million to support our noble cause of constructing a dormitory. Kangole began as a very small school. Currently we are overcrowded. The numbers increased, the academic standards are continuously improving, the discipline is great, and we are spiritually nourished.
I want also to thank the Catholic Church, because this was the only Catholic church which was embracing all girls from all the denominations. It is a girl which can build a nation. It is a girl which can build a family. So we put our hands together to support Kangole Girls Senior Secondary School, because it is the only school shining now in this region. A message I want to give to the parents: please, can we talk to our children? Can we educate our children? Let's leave our children to go to school so that the future generation of Uganda becomes a generation which can work for this country to develop.
In more news, the Eastern Africa Standby Force has confirmed the readiness of Uganda's military for regional peace support operations. The confirmation follows a verification exercise at the International Peace Support Operations Training Center in Singo, where the force assessed Uganda's pledged troops, equipment, and other capabilities. Now, the Force Commander, Brigadier General Stephen Maina Huria, commended the UPDF for its professionalism, high training standards, and preparedness for rapid development.
Eastern Africa Standby Force Commander Brigadier General Stephen Maina Huria commended the Uganda People's Defense Forces for its professionalism, high training standards, and preparedness for rapid deployment. Huria said the verification confirmed that the Ugandan contingent is mission-ready, well-equipped and highly motivated to support future regional peace operations.
I can confirm that from our verification that the troops are ready. Our focus really was first to ensure that the pledged forces by the Ugandan government, and particularly the police so the civilian and the military components.
The commandant of the International Peace Support Operations Training Center, Colonel Moses Nabasa, said Uganda has continued to contribute to peace and security operations in countries including Somalia, South Sudan, the Central African Republic, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Nabasa said the troops have undergone individual and collective training in line with the Eastern Africa Standby Force and United Nations standards, preparing them for rapid deployment whenever required.
This initiative remains credible and capable of responding rapidly and effectively to emerging threats and crises within our region.
The verification also covered Uganda's pledged police and civilian components, reinforcing the Eastern Africa Standby Force's multidimensional approach to peace operations. The Eastern Africa Standby Force brings together 9 countries, including Uganda, to strengthen collective responses to conflicts and humanitarian crises across Eastern Africa.
The Minister for Local Government, Maureen Babirye, has arrested and interdicted over 10 government officials in Mitoma district, all accused of embezzling and engaging in corruption-related vices. The affected officials include the district health officer, the district education officer, district natural resource officer, district engineer, town clerks, and the chairperson, Mitoma Service Commission. Following complaints of poor management of cases related to murder in the district, Balam handed over the district criminal intelligence officer to the State House Anti-Corruption Unit. Other officials wanted are on the run, although summons for their arrests have been issued.
The Minister for Local Government, Maureen Babirye, has spent the entire Saturday combing different parts of Mitoma district as he continues to advance his anti-corruption drive. Just like it has been the norm during his visits across the country, Balam convened an expanded district council at Mitoma district headquarters.
The Right Honorable Taiwan told me about job sale in the district.
According to leaders, the police negligence mainland office of the CID has laid down the community with many suspects moving scot-free. These are members of one of the family which lost their beloved one under unclear circumstances. They are asking government to bring to book all the culprits.
I think your voice is going to matter in this case. At least let this one be the last person to kill.
Petition your president.
The district ambulance driver who was pinned for extorting money from patients, Balam ordered for his arrest. Other complaints were directed to the District Service Commission as some youth raised allegations of commercialization of the district job opportunities.
They took 19 million for a job? Yes. You handed it to who?
In the former that was handed in, it was handed to 2 people. That was Dr. Oliver Patrick, who was working on behalf of the chairman of the Service Commission.
Balam tasked the local authorities to stand clean about these allegations.
Here you have a suspect that has funded with evidence on table, and the person is moving in town, and you claim you have the CID. Are you aware of this matter? So that's why you released him.
No, his orders we investigate.
Balam's file further implicated a section of government officials for causing financial losses to central government, thus ordering for their interdiction, arrest and investigations.
Where is the district environment officer? Cow, do you have a district? Do you have a district? You make a roll call of the heads who are here. I've received several reports regarding the DHO. That doctor should be arrested now. The chairman of the District Service Commission should also be arrested.
Which has never existed.
As raised during the meeting, Balam was amused to find this unfinished and abandoned structure constructed at an amount of 50 million, initially meant to house Rutenga Health Center frame.
14 years it is not operating.
Not operating at all?
It has never.
So why did they build it? So who is in charge? Who's in charge of it?
As if this wasn't enough, in the neighborhood is this shed-like structure, cost at shilling 41 million, used by locals as an abattoir.
Whatever board was involved in allocating 40 million to build this rubbish, that it is roofler, 40 million. Those ones should be arrested on the spot. Why do you investigate? Now whom are you going to investigate? You investigate that they have wasted 40 million for this.
Balam also inspected Rutenga Bridge construction.
So tell him concrete.
The team also visited Kashenshero and Rocheche Primary School, still in Ruhinda North constituency.
Government has also sent as a capitation grant. Government emanyire ntaro isomero. Baida somero tiriro.
He later proceeded to Ruhinda North grounds, where he convened a public rally. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Thank you, Robert Onyango, for that report. Now, government has asked residents of Omoro district and other areas along the Gulu-Moroto Road to remain patient as major works on the road are expected to begin in the 2028-29 financial year. State Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Henry Musasizi, made the revelation while in Omoro district for the ordination of 3 Catholic priests of the Gulu Archdiocese. Musasizi said that in the meantime, the Ministry of Works and Transport will ensure that the road is maintained with first-class maram to ease the movement of people and agricultural produce to markets.
Appeal to the residents and other communities that depends on Gulu-Moroto Road to remain patient as government plans comprehensive work on the road, saying government through Ministry of Work and Transport will in the meantime grade and maintain the road with first-class maram.
In the NDP4, we planned for it between financial year 2028-2029. So I want to assure this people that we have not refused the tarmac of the road, but we are still constrained with resources and we are monitoring. We are hopeful in this financial year, by come December, the oil revenues are going to start coming in because the oil is going to come. What shall we use oil revenues for? We shall use oil revenues mainly for infrastructure development.
The statement came amidst the growing concerns from residents over the poor conditions of the Gulu-Moroto roads, which they say is affecting transport and economic activities in the area.
And this has almost become the story of the hare and tortoise, the ododo we used to hear. Somebody comes, if you entrust me, I will make sure that this Gulu-Moroto Road is constructed. Our dear Honorable Minister, it is our humble prayer on behalf of this congregation that this should be worked on.
According to Omoro District Chairman Okot Andrew Bibi, the poor conditions of the road is not only affecting the residents of Omoro, but also the community in Pade, Agago, Abim, and Moroto districts.
Honorable Minister, also send our message to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, that the people of Omoro love you so much. We gave him 84.3% votes under the commandership of OBB, the independent candidate, who is also NRM. I therefore request you, when you go to cabinet, please tell the President, the community of Omoro love you so much, and just do them one favor, the tarmac of Moroto Road.
The 397-kilometer Gulu-Moroto roads is a key trade and tourism corridor linking northern and northeastern Uganda. Once fully improved, The road is expected to strengthen agricultural trades and improve the movement of goods between the Acholi and Karamoja sub-region, while easing access to market and essential services. Stephen Okello for UBC TV, Umoro District.
In other news, State Minister for Cooperatives Tom Aleru Azar has urged people of West Nile to venture in cocoa and coffee growing as cash crops to fight poverty. He was speaking during Thanksgiving of Maracha District Woman MP Jennifer Drewaru.
Minister Tom Aleru Azar stressed that tobacco and cotton, which West Nile has been known for in the history, has largely been of no benefit to the economy of the sub-region, noting that West Nile should not be lagging behind as Uganda is shiftily moving to achieving the 2040 vision.
Today we have come to join our members of parliament from Maracha, and specifically Honorable Drewaru, Jennifer, and as the minister in charge of cooperatives, in our remarks, we should be able to mobilize the people to embrace the growth of perennial crops, and especially cocoa and coffee, because really we have been having tobacco, we have been having cotton, and these ones have spoiled our soils. Our environment is gone. We left tobacco, we left the cotton, and take to coffee or cocoa, or both.
Jacqueline Amongin, Uganda's representative to East African Legislative Assembly, advises people of the sub-region to take part in economic growth of East Africa.
It means that into the East African community will tap into the potential that Uganda has. We have fertile land in West Nile, and I think so that we can produce to supply the other countries that are fully affected by drought most times.
Bishop of Arua Catholic Diocese, Right Reverend Ochan Sabino Odoki, on his part, challenged the leaders of West Nile to unite for development of the sub-region.
Every time I attend some meetings or functions, you hear it being repeated that West Nile is one of the poorest sub-regions in Uganda. We must come up and stand up for our sub-region and do what needs to be done.
According to the woman member of parliament for Maracha district, Jennifer Drewaru, agriculture is one of the most important initiatives that she is encouraging among her constituents of Maracha.
My priority is to supply seedlings to our farmers and also give them technical support getting from government and whoever can support them. You see, the youth have a lot to do, and when we support them, I'm sure they are going to do well.
Rose Obiga, the vice chairperson for West Nile Parliamentary Caucus, disclosed that unity among leaders remains important as West Nile is advocating for economic well-being of the sub-region.
For us these days, our enemy is one, that is poverty, and we're here to unite against poverty.
Joseph Odama, UBC News.
The Electoral Commission has boasted of organizing successful LC1 elections countrywide. EC Chairperson Justice Simon Mugenyi Byabakama has, however, admitted that there was some shortcomings which surfaced in the process.
There is no perfect election in any part of the world. But what makes us say that this election was very successful is that out of 71,214 villages in the country, elections were held in 70,090 villages, which constitutes 98.4% of success.
The Electoral Commission Chairperson, Justice Simon Mugenyi Byabakama, has pointed at the key challenges characterized by the electoral process in the just concluded LC1 elections, with violence and fraudulent polling officials in selected areas taking center stage.
Well, from the reports we have been receiving, one, in some areas where some bad elements disrupted the lining, and therefore, or the lines, and the counting could not take place. Secondly, in some of the other places, there were some returning officers or village election officers who were said not to have counted the voters in the lines. And that caused chaos. And therefore, people were not able to, the process was not concluded. In some areas, even after counting, some village election officers were not declaring the results at those polling stations. In others, there was general chaos of violence, and voting could not take place.
He also acknowledged the interference of security agencies in some electoral areas.
That in some areas, security personnel disrupted the process. In some places, we are told our presiding officers or village election officers were allegedly taken away or kidnapped. Some other DCs were alleged to have interfered with the process. So we are analyzing all these reports. We are looking at all these reports to verify whether they are true or not, and then we take the necessary action.
Byabakama cautioned all stakeholders of the electoral process to exercise their roles with regard to the law to ensure sanity.
For us to have a peaceful election is for every Ugandan who is participating in the elections to act in accordance with the law, be tolerant with one another, and be civil towards one another, and follow the instructions of the Electoral Commission and the guidelines issued by the Electoral Commission, and also follow what the security agencies or the Uganda Police Force, which is responsible for maintaining law and order, is guiding you to do.
Soon after filling all elective positions, the Electoral Commission will unveil a comprehensive report of the electoral process, including the 2026 general elections.
It's a requirement of the law that after a general election, or any election for that matter, the Electoral Commission shall issue or make a report about the process and submit it to Parliament.
The general public has been called upon to contribute collectively towards the realization of a free, fair and credible process in the subsequent elections. Joseph Chigozigola, reporting for UBC.
The Equal Opportunities Commission has called for stronger action from government institutions to address persistent inequalities affecting vulnerable and marginalized Ugandans. The Commission says gaps in access to healthcare, electricity, justice, employment protection and participation in decision-making continue to undermine equal opportunities across the country.
The Equal Opportunities Annual Report of 2025, the Commission has held a dialogue with officials from various government institutions to review the progress in implementing recommendations aimed at promoting equal opportunities.
After we have received the responses from the ministries and the agencies, we will also compile the same and share with the Parliament and also the other authorities of government.
The Commission's audit of industrial parks found that many workers employed by investors and business enterprises operate without formal appointment letters or employment contractors.
And the condition on employment was that you should employ Ugandans according to the labor laws. But this has been amended since, and now what we are saying is that ensure employment of Ugandans at all levels, including senior management, in case there is a skills or experience gap, to cut out a job training and mentorship of Ugandans. Investors in the park shall ensure that all their employees have written employment contracts in line with the employment laws.
The Uganda Revenue Authority has been urged to simplify tax information, strengthen taxpayers' sensitization, and improve coordination with local governments.
Our structure was reviewed to create a whole division that is in charge of tax education. We have a whole division headed by the Assistant Commissioner, Tax Education. Actually, if we had more time, she would be here, but she's out there purposely and solely to educate the citizens.
Access to justice was also highlighted, with the Commission noting that residents in the districts such as Kalacha and Terego continue to face challenges accessing functional courts, forcing vulnerable people to travel long distances in search of justice. The Commission also pointed to disparities in access to electricity, particularly in Eastlands and other hard-to-reach areas. However, officials from this department responded.
Everyone has to benefit from whatever we are doing it. That's why this particular project is clustered in that sense, that a particular region has what we are targeting, and the information is there If even Karamoja, yes, Karamoja may be clustered.
At the local government level, the commission raised concern over the limited participation of councillors presenting women, youth, persons with disability, and older persons in decision making.
Of all local governments, especially the new leaders, the political leaders, not only the political leaders but also the technical, we mingle them, chair strategically to focus them for better service delivery.
The Equal Opportunities Commission says addressing these gaps requires stronger coordination, effective monitoring, and greater commitment from government institutions to ensure that development services reach all Ugandans, regardless of their location and social circumstances. Susan Nabugude for UBC News.
In more news, Uganda National Council for Science and Technology has challenged innovators to embrace intellectual property as a driver to the country's industrialization. The Executive Director, Uganda National Council for Science and Technology, Dr. James Chisale, highlights that intellectual property helps turn applied science from institutions into commercial products and scales up homegrown manufacturing sectors.
Collaboration with the Uganda Registration Services Bureau is engaging with different stakeholders to create more awareness about the importance of intellectual property and technology transfer.
We realize that intellectual property simply means ideas, but these ideas are so critical that if these ideas are nurtured and they are worked upon and then they are able to be converted into a tangible product that can be able to help society, then those ideas become important, and therefore you become the owner of those ideas if you are able to register your ideas under what we call intellectual property.
So we are trying to awaken the public to this reality. The most areas where we have been able to make headways are in educational institutions with the support from Ministry of Education and the other actors on the education component. So we have so many innovations from schools. The only unfortunate part is that most of the schools, especially universities, do innovations for academic purposes. So when students graduate, they abandon the innovations at the university, which we think is not right. We think when students leave, probably the universities can take over the innovations and develop them into products that bring income and employment. At worst, if universities cannot do that, probably the relevant government bodies can.
Uganda has legislation on the intellectual property like the Industrial Property Act 2014 that provides for legal rights for local patents and technical innovations which help domestic creators secure manufacturing processes and industrial designs.
And therefore, this intellectual property is a very important conversation at the center of commercialization of research. We cannot talk about commercialization of research without registering our intellectual property arising from the research products that we will have identified, or the research ideas for that matter.
IP is very critical because, number one, it prevents or helps us to lower our imports, and therefore playing a very important role in import substitution. But it is also very important for creating nascent industries that definitely grow into bigger entities, and this results into economic growth in terms of the industry scaling up.
Since government has placed science, technology and innovation to be at the center of the 10-fold growth strategy, it is important that innovators and researchers embrace the value of intellectual property. Adia Nakuti, UBC.
Now, in regards to health, Uganda Cancer Institute has received a donation of 20 wheelchairs to support cancer patients and ease their mobility at the institute. The donation from Grant Thornton Foundation, in partnership with Yogi Steels Limited and G Das Limited, is part of an initiative to support and improve the well-being of the vulnerable patients.
Grant Thornton Foundation, in partnership with the Yogi Steels Limited and GDAS Limited, has donated 20 wheelchairs to Uganda Cancer Institute to support cancer patients receiving treatment at the facility. The wheelchairs are expected to ease mobility for cancer patients within the institute, providing greater comfort and making it easier for patients, particularly those with limited mobility, to access different health services.
I would also like to thank our partners, GDAS Industries and Yogi Steels also, because they have also supported us in this good cause. So Team UCI, now we have tried to fulfill your expectation. Now our expectation is a proper use of the wheelchair. Okay, so doctor, we expect, you know, the use of wheelchair. Okay, so please use it and maintain it as expected.
Grant Thornton says supporting communities is part of its commitment to improving people's quality of life, the well-being of patients, and the wider community.
Beyond short and high duration, we want to address the issue of mobility and access. So today, we are here to donate 20 wheelchairs to our partners. So through our partnership with Yogi Steel, they have donated 5 wheelchairs. Peters Industries has also donated 5 wheelchairs, and Grant Thornton Foundation has donated 10 wheelchairs.
Speaking during the handover, the Director, Uganda Cancer Institute, Dr. Jackson Orem, applauded Grant Thornton and its partners for the support, saying such interventions can make a meaningful difference in the lives of cancer patients.
We as the Uganda Cancer Institute are very happy with this collaboration, and we want it to continue for the benefit of our citizens, and also as a partnership to our government. And whatever you are doing, make sure we report to government, so that the government of Uganda know that Grant Thornton is not about just doing business, but they are also into psychosocial support and the well-being of Ugandans, especially cancer patients.
He called on more organizations, companies and well-wishers to come forward and support the Uganda Cancer Institute as the facility continues to provide specialized cancer treatment and care.
We want to implement 4 regional cancer centers, and we want to put each of them in the different corners of the country.
Uganda Cancer Institute receives patients across the country, many of whom require support beyond medical treatment, including assistance with mobility and access to services within the facility. This donation is therefore expected to complement the Institute's efforts to provide a more supportive and patient-centered environment for people undergoing cancer treatment. Susan Naung and Michael Bakabulindi reporting for EBC TV.
Sironko District Woman Member of Parliament Asha Mafawi Nabulo has intensified efforts to address water shortage in some of the most affected communities in the district. Nabulo, in partnership with well-wishers from One Uma UK, has commissioned 5 boreholes in water-stressed areas.
Sironko district in eastern Uganda is among the areas facing persistent water challenges, and residents, particularly women and children, trek long distances in search for water for domestic use, something that exposes them to social challenges in addition to domestic violence.
We fetch water from very far, like 1.5 kilometers. We have been quarreling with our husbands that where have you been since?
Abaana okwononeka bononesa olw'amazzi okubeera nga bagenda gakimawala. Omwana agambye ngenda kukima amazzi ayitidde eri agenze kulaba mulenzi.
It is a situation that prompted the intervention of the woman member of parliament, Asha Mafawi Nabulo, who lobbied for the construction of boreholes in some of the affected communities.
Donation of the water well in Narusala sub-county. This is one of the heavily populated sub-counties, among others in Sironko. Their population goes up to about 8,000, and if you're going to take statistics of the beneficiaries of this borehole, it's about 20 different villages. This is simply a fraction of the people who are going to benefit from this borehole.
In some parts of Sironko district, we have actually water is a big challenge. This lower part and then Bukulo Mafudu and Buki. We have a very big challenge. We don't have gravitational flow schemes there.
Nabulo says addressing the water crisis requires concerted efforts from leaders, development partners and other stakeholders to increase the extension of safe and clean water services to communities across the district.
We are commissioning a borehole in Soronko Town Council, the most heavily populated sub-county in the whole of Soronko district. I am so grateful that you have given us this borehole and the assistance you have given us in the past.
Thank you so much for standing with the people of Bugisus. Thank you so much for standing with the people of Soronko. Water is life, and whenever she comes, I pray. Always listen to our prayers and our cries. It is for our people.
For One Oma UK, the partnership aims at complementing government efforts by supporting communities that continue to struggle with access to clean water.
Some of the issues that are facing the community is the lack of access to safe and clean water. It's the reason that we intervened by bringing a water wells project within Soronko district. We have a number of sub-counties that we went through, and specifically we have been able to donate 5 boreholes within the district.
Residents welcomed the intervention. Nabulo reaffirmed her commitment to mobilizing for more support to address the water challenge and improve the welfare of communities in Soronko district.
In more news, youth cadres associations have congratulated General Asaf Nachikuru upon his appointment as Commander SFC. The youth applauded government for the UPDF's deployment in Gaza and also called for more patriotism among youth in the country. This was at Makerere University.
Security of our country. Number one, we want to first of all appreciate the leadership of the army, that is the CDF, General Muhoozi Rugaba, and the Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, General retired, for the organization he has given the army. Our army
MTN voice bundle. Lord. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son of you. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Hey, Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21 hash and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
The Presidential Initiative for Skilling the Girl and Boy Child, a project under State House, informs all divisions of Kampala that registration for young girls and boys of the 15 to 35 years age bracket will take place on Thursday 13th of August 2026 with training starting on Monday 17th of August 2026 at the following skilling centers: Wandegea Market, Mulago Catholic Church, All Saints Church of Uganda Mutundwe, Nakulabye Chiwunya Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church, Luzira Prisons at St. Stephen's Church of Uganda Luzira, Subway Crested Towers Roundabout, Wabigalo Parish Community Hall, Butikira Parish Catholic Church Chigowa Ntinda, and Makere Chikweni Community Hall. Registration and training are free of charge. To register, bring a photocopy of your national ID or your parents' or the guardian's ID for minors, signed and stamped by the LC1 with their phone contact, plus 4 recent passport photos. For more information, call 0716 144 562 or 0414 343 457 and 0414 343 458.
Welcome back from the break, and now in business news, Centenary Bank has introduced its incoming Managing Director, Godfrey Biekwaso, to key customers, partners and stakeholders in a move aimed at demonstrating continuity and reassuring the public that the bank's strategic direction remains unchanged despite the leadership transition. The engagement, officiated by Fabian Cassi, the outgoing managing director of Centenary Bank at Serena Hotel in Kampala, brought together the bank's stakeholders who are updated on the institution's plans and commitment to maintaining stronger customer relationships while expanding access to quality financial services.
We are doing succession. It is not necessarily about changing leaders, changing from Fabian to Godfrey, but it is basically a lot to do with how well we are having this company succeed, how well we are having this company continue to operate with the purpose for which it was founded. And I want to assure you that despite the change in leaders, this company, this bank is continuing.
You want a bank where you are and not a bank where you go. And with that, we have made sure that we have embraced technology. But we have also not left those who want to still come and see us, because we know that behind the technology there are people. We have still opening up branches. You know that we recently opened up a branch in Kalongo, and we are going to open up another branch in Katakwi. We are bringing more branches just to make sure that you also still continue to feel us when you visit us. But when you need convenience over the week,
This serving center who can help reach as many other Chinese and all.
The private sector has been urged to take advantage of emerging investment opportunities and play a leading role in Uganda's industrial transformation. The call was made by the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Sanjay Tana, during a meeting with the Private Sector Foundation Uganda ahead of the 3rd Regional Industrialization Conference scheduled for later this month in Kampala under the theme Renewed Focus on Innovation, Industrial Competitiveness and Strengthening Regional Value Chains.
As a government, we have been running on national development plans. So there has been NDP 1, National Development Plan 2, 3, and the current one, which is 4. Under the NDP 4, we have identified 4 pillars, and those 4 pillars are meant to drive Uganda's economy from a current $63 billion GDP to tenfold, 500 billion by 2040. And to do that, there is a 5-year plan, which we have identified 4 pillars. And those 4 pillars are the ATMS. So you have agro-processing, which is one of the pillars and the core of Uganda's economy. Like everybody knows, we are predominantly an agricultural-based economy. For long, we have been exporting raw materials, like His Excellency the President says.
The agro-industrialization, tourism, mineral development, but science and technology and ICT with services. So all of those speak to each other. It's a time of information, it's a time of gathering data, it's a time of doing business, but it's also time for engaging government players who should help to facilitate, to create an enabling environment that helps regional players, businesses to thrive. Their businesses and the inputs that come within the context within which they do their business.
In more business news, women have been urged to embrace technical and vocational skills in renewable energy to improve their livelihoods, create jobs and accelerate Uganda's transition to a green economy. The call was made during the closing ceremony of the Green Energy for Women and Youth Resilience in Uganda, bridging the skills gap through technical and vocational education and training project held at Nakawa Vocational Training College in Kampala. Take a look.
Implemented by Makerere University Business School with funding from the International Development Research Centre Canada is being implemented in partnership with Nakawa Vocational Training College, Uganda Matters Polytechnic in Soroti and the Uganda Vocational and Technical Assessment Board to address the shortage of skilled workers in Uganda's growing clean energy sector.
training.
According to leaders in the project, the initiative targets women because they remain underrepresented in technical professions despite being the primary users and promoters of clean energy technologies in homes and communities. To promote inclusion, the program provided support for pregnant and breastfeeding mothers, enabling them to complete the month-long hands-on training.
This project is mainly aiming at equipping the young women and youth in the area of technical entrepreneurship and business skills that will enable them to get a livelihood and also create an enterprise, create jobs.
The project was intentional to ensuring that women participate and that they should also get relevant in our society in terms of generating income.
A total of 120 trainees, 60% of them women, completed practical training in solar photovoltaic installation and maintenance, electric motorcycle repair, improved cook stove fabrication and carbonized briquette production, alongside entrepreneurship and business management to prepare them for self-employment and enterprise development.
We are going to make sure that we train the other people. We've walked out with this confidence to train our communities, to train other people on how to protect the environment at the same time the entrepreneurial skills where they will be able to earn a living.
All in all, this course was just a blessing to us all.
Officials said the graduates are expected to establish clean energy businesses, create green jobs, promote climate-smart technologies, and improve household incomes while contributing to Uganda's Vision 2040, the Energy Transition Plan, and the Sustainable Development Goals.
Through a sustainable protection, and they will be able to develop themselves by creation of jobs. So I'm encouraging those that participated to take on, to create jobs.
Encourage our graduates or our students to pick up a skill in addition to their degree. For example, where you have a Bachelor of Commerce student doing electrical installations, a human resource student picking up baking and all that, so that you combine your blue-collar job together with any other skill that could increase on your income.
The government reaffirmed its commitment to expanding electricity infrastructure, enforcing quality standards, and strengthening partnerships with training institutions and the private sector to ensure more women and youth participate in Uganda's clean energy transition.
The ministry is also spearheading the development of technical standards and regulations for clean energy technologies. These measures are essential for ensuring safety and consumer confidence. The ministry is also promoting integration of renewable energy in the different areas, especially in e-mobility.
Uganda's manufacturing sector is being challenged to look beyond the local market and aggressively pursue opportunities across East and Central Africa to create jobs and strengthen the economy. The call was made by Ezra Muhumuza, the Executive Director, Euroform, as they celebrated 25 years in business.
When we talk about refinery supporters, want the refinery be put here, because some of the materials he uses are byproducts of petrochemical refineries. So that we start to get this material from our oil.
So join me, members, even as we launch it, to take charge and advantage of what we are offering. There's a lot that we are seeing on the market. However, does it qualify to be this matrix that you're supposed to have?
Again, aggregate the Kasuris. How many people do we have in farm sector? I think 40 something? 40? 45 members. What would happen if you came up with a structure that they start collecting money now? By the time the refinery starts to work, they have their own component of the refinery that produces this raw material. And they use what they can to do the mattresses for the region and we export the rest because they are the experts we have in farm sector.
Even as we look at what we shall see, these are what we call mattresses. There is no kind of mattress that you will not see inside there. We know evolution has brought in so many things. What we used to sleep, or what our good great-grandfathers used, from cotton to a wide range of products that we call mattresses. So
now, dairy traders and residents around Mutukula border in Rakai district will no longer have to travel to Mbarara to access some milk products following the opening of a new dairy depot in the area.
Lakeside Dairies is expected to shorten the distance travelled by customers while reducing transport costs associated with sourcing dairy products from Mbarara.
The main reason for opening it was like we had many customers who are coming from this side, but we decided to give them an offer and bring our products near to them.
The depot will serve consumers in south-central Uganda and neighboring northwestern Tanzania. The Mutukula depot will stock products including UHT milk, yogurt and cheese, with officials saying the prices will be similar to those at the factory gate.
Our customers who have been traveling long distance to Mbarara to come and pick the products from the factory, to come and get those products at the depot, which has been opened in our area, and all these products will be sold at the company place.
The facility comes as demand for dairy products continues to grow in rural and border communities. Mutukula becomes the latest addition to Lakeside Dairies distribution network, joining depots in Sanga, Katete, Isinjiro, Liantonde, Koranolia, Mile 4, Chikagate and Roti.
And this will help our customers and everyone around that area, maybe Tanzania, Chotera, Lakai, those areas, they will be getting our products here at Mutukula Depot and on the company place.
The expansion is also expected to ease pressure on customers who previously travelled to distant outlets to access the products.
So every product you need, you're rest assured when you come to the depot you will get those products and in time.
However, dairy vendors have been cautioned to maintain proper cold temperatures while handling the products given their perishable nature. Officials say maintaining the cold chain will help preserve product quality and extend shelf life.
MTN voice bundle. Ay. Lord. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Hey, Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21 hash and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
State Minister for Sports Peter Ogwang has flagged off Uganda's delegation to the 2026 Federation of East Africa School Sports Association Games that are due in Morogoro, Tanzania.
The MTN Arena Lugogo has hosted the flag-off ceremony of Uganda's delegation to the 2026 Federation of East Africa Schools Sports Association Games. The occasion was graced by the State Minister for Sports Peter Ogwang, who preached dedication towards success but with discipline and avoidance of illegal avenues, especially doping.
Having been guided by the President and the First Lady, we leaders must always begin to look at diagnosing the problem whenever you lead a certain sector. For purpose of sports in Uganda, the biggest problem was the law. And I'm happy once we came in, guided by our senior minister, the First Lady, we were able to amend the National Sports Act, which now gives each stakeholder what means to be done.
The minister highlighted lack of organization that derails talent identification and development, and ultimately the country loses track of would-be national team players, and this needs to be addressed urgently.
The area where I put up a letter, which I wrote to the Commissioner of Physical Education and Sports, urgently convening a stakeholders meeting to begin to discuss on how do we begin to ensure these children who are identified, who begin participating in sports, can we track their development progress from where they started up to where they are, and where do they go if they don't make it.
At this year's Games, Uganda will be represented by 138 teams from over 60 schools, taking part in 21 sports disciplines.
Uganda is sending 137 teams, and these teams are in 3 categories. There are those secondary school students, that's the majority, primary school students, and also SNE. And Uganda is participating in all those.
Uganda's contingent will take part in all the disciplines on show, including football, netball, volleyball, rugby, basketball, cricket, and softball. Schools like St. Mary's Kitende, Bukedia Comprehensive School, Amos College, St. Cypriano Chabakadde, Kibuli SS, and St. Mary's College Kisubi form the core of the team.
I'm very sure that our teams of Uganda are fully prepared to participate in these games. The teams have undergone training with good coaches, and also the country's government has provided us with funds to go and participate, and we look forward to putting Uganda's name up there.
Uganda is the defending champion, but for title defense at this 23rd edition will face opposition from Rwanda, Kenya, Burundi, and Tanzania. The games will also include contests for primary schools and special needs categories.
And with that, today's news business comes to an end. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Maureen Babirye. I bid you good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Ever wonder what really shapes our world? From the boardrooms that drive business